Hi, I'm Jeanne Aufmuth.
And I'm Josh Wallace.
Tonight on The Real Review.
Kevin Spacey inspires goodwill hysteria in Pay It Forward.
Dance like a butterfly or sting like a bee, a contemporary conundrum in Billy Elliot.
The house guests from hell lived up to their billing in Cleopatra's Second Husband.
Spike Lee turns the social spotlight onto network television in Bamboozled.
The devil made him do it, and how, in Bedazzled.
And for cuts and keepers, what's in the theater and DVD watch.
Tonight on The Real Review.
What are you, James Brown?
It's a box office bonanza, and we're bamboozled and bedazzled. Take it away, Josh.
Imagine you had the key to mankind's happiness, not a shampoo, and you told two people, and they told two people, etc., etc., etc. Well, child star Haley Joel Osment has this key, and he's teamed up with Kevin Spacey and Helen Hunt to bring mankind happiness in Pay It Forward.
That's me. That's me. And that's 3 people. And I'm going to help them. But it has to be something really big. Something they can't do by themselves. So I do it for them. Then they do it for 3 other people. That's 9. And I do 3 more.
Articulation, please. Yes.
I think it's a good idea.
Sean?
It's stupid.
Adam?
It's the honor system. People blow off the honor system. So what? Just because you do.
Well, Trevor, the class seems to think that you've come up with an overly utopian idea. Look that word up in a minute.
Like a perfect world?
Mm-hmm.
So?
I've been teaching for many years, and it really is the first new idea that also requires an extreme act of faith in the goodness of people. Trevor has made an attempt to interact with the world, and that was the assignment. And if I were an effusive person, given to easy praise, I would call that admirable.
Small acts of kindness. That's a theme that really works for me. I like his idea. I liked what this was all about. I didn't necessarily love the movie.
I've got a sugar buzz, man. I cannot get over this. I mean, they went right for the sentimental jugular with this, and I really resent it with that kind of acting talent.
Well, that's the problem, okay? With this kind of acting talent, you expect that you will have nuances. Now, here's the #1 problem I have with this movie. Kevin Spacey, he is the man. We love him. He is better when the character is less obvious, less developed, because he brings his own nuances to the character. Here, it's so spelled out that he doesn't have to try very hard. So I was not blown away by him. I was, however, blown away by Helen Hunt and Haley Joel Osment.
The nice thing about what they did with Helen Hunt is they made her trashy, which is really great. It was brave, I thought, because I mean, for her to take that on, I mean, it was very much a kind of a Meryl Streep moment, you know, where you know, she rose to the character to make the character what it was, not brought the character into her preconceived notion of her movie star self.
Right, and she's white trashy, and she falls all the way down, crash and burn, and then up and crash and burn again, which was realistic. It wasn't like, oh, she meets this wonderful person and suddenly she's redeemed. It doesn't work that way. But the whole manipulation thing, you know, something happens at the end where you just feel like they're just, oh, it's so saccharine.
And you can see that, you know, what's going to happen. You know, if there's a martyrdom thing, whatever, it's just coming right up at you on you know, Hollywood, Las Vegas Boulevard. It was just so predictable. And they just used Haley Joel Osment in the wrong way, too. I mean, he's great, but he was just so sweet, so perfect. It's like, give him some imperfection, you know, make him steal a car, whatever. Just give him some reality.
Or give the husband or his dad, you know, make him bad. Don't make him just, I'm on the wagon and then he's drinking, so I'm throwing him out again. I don't know. I really wanted to like this movie. You know when you want to like the movie, but I just couldn't love it. I tried really hard to love it. It's a movie that you want to love.
Yeah,
you feel like you should.
I walked into this movie, you know, it's a date night and all this stuff, and so went out to the movies, and aside from the fact it's work, you know, get this you know, star ensemble, you know, with Haley Joel, I mean, coming out of Sixth Sense, I was just really ready for this. I lost it real quick, and one thing that really bugged me, and it's going to be a theme through for me through this show, is fake black people and fake homeless people.
Okay.
You know, do we have to do that?
Yeah, more on that later.
Yeah.
All I have to, the best thing about this is that Haley Joel Osment is not a one-shot wonder. I am going to give this a really strong 2. Now, this is one of those awkward 2.5 things, but a strong 2, strong 2.
Well, I'm giving it a weak 2. I think these guys were just out for awards.
Destiny, circa 1984, Northern England. Dad's a coal miner, as was his dad and his dad. You box at the local gym because that's what boys do. But your true passion is ballet dancing. Tradition or fate? That's the moral dilemma facing Billy Elliot.
1, 2, 3 padabore, and a 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 1, 2, 3 padabore.
You! Out! No!
I beg your pardon? Yes, miss. All right, which way are we facing? Come on. And a 1, 2, 3 padabore.
Okay, you know, manipulative feel-good movies are a bad thing, but when they're British, they can be really trying. I felt that this movie just was so without horsepower. I mean, it was so contrived, so overdone, pulled in every vehicle, pulled in father-son, okay, that was really labored, pulled in the raw talent into a gem thing, but I'm just going to keep going here for 1 second, one more point, and that is that, you know, when you've got this raw talent, we've seen it in many movies, you know, raw talent, and then becomes the major star. But he started out as a spaz and goes to the Royal Ballet. You know, there's no validity there. There's no something that really gets me on board and makes you think.
Can you tell by my face that I totally disagree with you? I was in this from the beginning, and everything you said, now I should have been taking notes. I have the reverse reaction to. It was a formulaic story. The story's been done before, but it was injected with edge, it was injected with conflict, it was injected with passion. Yeah, okay,
Edgeless.
He was kind of a spaz. I know what you mean about that. The dancing was kind of spazzy, but it was all about the passion, and that made him a good dancer.
Well, see, no, it didn't, because I mean, what they did was they had all these tent poles to prop this up. Like they had a labor strike trying to set up the...
This is 1984.
Set up the coal miners you know, against the union, that type of thing. And it just was there as a backdrop to add fake intensity to Billy's struggle. And I just didn't see it there.
I didn't see it as fake. I saw it adding intensity to Billy's struggle. His mother is dead. His dad is obviously upset over the death of the mother and preoccupied with the strike and the older son, and all this is going on. And, you know, they have those old-fashioned notions. Your son is a boy and he boxes. So you can imagine how upset he's going to be when the kid wants to, you know, be a ballet dancer.
Put some sincerity into it. I was just goofy. There was it was like the relationship with the dancing teacher I thought was so contrived.
Why? What was contrived about it?
Because I mean there was just no real feeling there. There were just two people on very different planes.
Yikes. Okay, obviously I loved their chemistry, and I thought the kid was extraordinary. So real, so fresh, so amazing. The whole relationship he had with his friend, The gay friend? Oh, that was so touching.
I mean, and then like the overdone working class British accents on top, with the bad brother who doesn't want Billy to make it, and for me it was just such a setup. I just got set up and knocked down by this one. So
the only time I was knocked down was that punch in your gut ending, which just had me weeping. I am giving this the big 4.
No way. I'm keeping people away from this with a shallow 2.
Ooh, all right.
All right, stick around. We'll be back with Bedazzled, Bamboozled, and Cleopatra's Second Husband. Stick around.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
There's a saying, fish and house guests smell after 3 days. Well, this is really a problem for Joe. His wife has left him, and she has left her evil friend behind, who is supposedly looking for a place of his own. But all he's really looking to do is to make Joe's life a nightmare in Cleopatra's Second Husband.
Now, in case of an earthquake, the gas shutoff is here on the side of the house. You know how to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay, the water shutoff is in the front, and the electrical mains are around back.
Where do you walk the dog?
Oh, no. No, she's got a yard to play and shit in. Oh, and don't smoke in the house. I'm allergic.
No sweat. We'll smoke on the porch.
Okay.
Can you just get my hat? Yeah.
Robert, the limo is now here.
Come on,
I am not
place.
going to be late, okay?
If the window is open, it'll tell you, and then you just close the window or you do a porch set. Okay?
Come
now,
on!
when you come
That was
home,
hours ago.
the
I told you.
alarm will go off, and you press 783
It's on the paper.
or 4105.
The goddamn
And that'll set the
paper.
alarm.
Let's move it.
We'll call you when we get in.
Okay, then our number's on the sheet where we'll be.
I had a problem with this, speaking of problems. And the problem is, well, first of all, it slimed me. The whole idea is very slimy, but the characters were weak. I mean, the main character, I can't remember his name. Robert.
Was he a joyless twerp?
Okay, that would
Okay.
describe it. And I just hated him so much and wanted to smack him and say, get it together, get a life, do something, that it kind of like colored the whole experience for me.
The problem with this film, the problem was that it tried to do a lot of things, or it portended to do a lot of things. Like the mechanism that they have here is kind of the Clockwork Orange mechanism, where you have somebody who's really evil, then he gets treated wrong, and now you're supposed to feel sorry for the victim.
But
that never actually worked, because Zach, the nasty house guest, gets victimized by Robert, the joyless twerp.
Right. Which made me really happy.
You never feel bad for Zach or...
well, I don't know if you're supposed to feel bad for Zach, because he was so bad to Robert. But still, at that point, I was so hating Robert, and it took him so long to get it together. I don't know. This reminded me of Boxing Helena. I mean, it just really gave me that slimy, icky feeling.
What this reminded me of was... In the Company of Men meets Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, no, but the nice thing is that in the Company of Men is that had a really strong statement, like the most misunderstood film of our time.
Yeah,
I think.
probably.
But this just lay down flat. It was this guy. Was it Joe Reese, who's the director? Is a music video director, and so he's coming on the scene for the feature, trying to make a fashion statement about an with angsty characters, and it just doesn't work.
It was actually better than some debuts by music directors. I mean, it was interesting material. I don't understand why the release is so limited. I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah,
movies
now
than
you
this.
know.
Yeah, well, now I know. But I don't know. I just felt very slimed by it. But you know, there's the kind of upset slimed, but it's still in your head, and that means it's having an impact. It wasn't that kind of slimed. It was just slimed and it was over.
I had bored slime.
Okay, well, that's what I mean.
And I said, like, where's the black humor? Why is this so relentless? You know, okay, it's a revenge thing. Give me some tasty revenge. I know you love revenge.
I love revenge. I didn't love this, and there was, yeah, tasty. No, none of those things. I guess bored. It describes it.
I sort of started off as a psychological sitcom, and then, you know, trying to be a thriller. Where are we going with this?
Pacific Heights, you know, the bad neighbor next door, the house guest next door, whatever.
Hand that Rocks the Cradle.
Right, which was a great movie. I can't recommend this really. I mean, it did two ticket stubs. I mean, it had some merit, but that's all I can muster.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a really vanilla too for me as well.
According to Culture Vulture Spike Lee, network television is fueled by race, ratings, and the pursuit of power. When African-American programmer Pierre Delacroix bucks the system by creating a contemporary blackface minstrel show, satire rears its ugliest head in Bamboozled.
I think, and Delacroix will agree with me, that the politics of this show have to be right.
This show we are doing is a minstrel show, which is blackface, tap dancing, singing, sketches.
You're putting white actors in blackface?
No, my dear. We're using black actors with blacker faces.
Don't you think that people are going to be offended?
Yes, that's good. I want them to be offended. I want to wake America up.
Yes, even though the material will be somewhat offensive, there is definitely a social message that we should focus when writing the material.
I'm going to perhaps take the contrary view here. I actually enjoyed this film. I did not. I mean, I don't know where you're coming from, but a lot of the buzz is, oh, it's just a sermon about, you know, black people in you know, being mistreated in the media and whatnot. I really have a lot of respect for Spike Lee. I know that what Spike does is a lot of films are very personal, but that's where people often misconstrue them as self-indulgent.
It's not contrary to me. I thought the first hour of this was brilliant, really brilliant. His flaw is that he takes a point and just hammers it home, okay? A little subtlety would probably help, but man, this thing was shocking, and I was sort of frozen to my seat when they were doing the blackface and...
Savion Glover, I know, is one of your favorite.
Yeah, he's the man.
Stage folks,
and he was wonderful. But I just the idea. I mean, it's a great concept. It's not even a concept. It's true, and we just don't need it shoved down our throat. But
yeah, well, we saw that. Yeah. You know, in you know, we'll see a little bit of that in Bedazzled. We definitely saw it in Pay It Forward. I mean, Hollywood is rife with bad stereotypes. And Spike makes a great point here. I mean, also his history lesson was really cool, too. I mean, he took us through all the different phases of, you know, blacks in cinema and in theater. And it had a lot of little memorabilia, really racist
that's
black
his own,
toys.
you know. That's his own collection.
That's his collection?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just...
I guess it's the theme here is what lengths are we willing to go to for entertainment, and it really makes the TV watching public look very ridiculous, you know.
The idiot box.
Yeah, the idiot box, and all the idiots getting behind the black Mantan minstrel show, which is so racist. I mean, the watermelon patch and Coons and Rastus and Little Black
the Porch Monkey Band.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody gets on board this, and they start doing their own blackface.
Yeah,
and
it becomes a cult. Hello, what movie was this? This was A Face in the Crowd, 1957, Elia Kazan.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I mean, the whole time. That's exactly what that movie was about, is the power of the media and what it does to destroy... You know,
or bring the lemmings along.
Right, but in this case, it destroyed the programmer. Well, I don't want to give it away, but you know, it's the rise and fall of the guy who created this show. Savion Glover is the strong link of this movie. He can act, he can dance, and he gave the feeling like, yeah, he was on the bandwagon too, but then he started to not feel good about what he was doing. His conscience.
He's a Frankenstein, basically. He had created a monster. I thought Jada Pinkett Smith was really quite good too. She was a nice sort of balance to do the extreme characters. She was sort of the voice of reason.
Yeah, the person who wasn't very good was Wayans. Is it Damon?
Yeah.
I get them mixed up.
One thing that I had trouble with too, I caught myself. Some of the funniest stuff here was the black humor.
Yeah.
You go to a comedy show, and there's a black guy. He's going to be just dissing black people, and it's like, should I laugh at this? I think that Spike wanted us to look at that, and I looked hard at that.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I give it 3.
I do too. I thought it's a flawed tour de force. I mean, it's a good movie. 3 ticket stubs from me.
Brendan Fraser is a tech support geek at a computer company. Elizabeth Hurley is the devil with a red dress on, barely. What shall be betwixt the twain? Well, he wants a life, and she wants his soul. Deal. Let's get bedazzled.
I don't want to pressure you, but why don't we take a teensy little look at the contract?
It's pretty... Yeah, I, Elliot Richards, hereafter known as the Damned. The Damned?
How about the Dawn? Sound better? Don't get hung up on the language, darling. There's nothing sinister here. It's all standard boilerplate. Paragraph 1 states that I, the devil, a not-for-profit corporation with offices in Purgatory Hell in Los Angeles, will give you 7 wishes to use as you see fit.
7? Why not 8?
Why not 6? I don't know. 7 just sounds right. Paragraph 2 outlines the manner in which you'll pay for the aforementioned wishes.
What? Are you kidding? I have to give you my soul?
After you've had your wishes, of course.
But it's my soul. I can't give you my soul.
What are you, James Brown? What's the big deal?
Well, color me surprised. God, Wednesday night screening, yuck, I thought, I'm just so not looking forward to this. I really like this movie.
Well, Jeanne, okay, go. But should we get into it? You go.
Yeah, let's get there. Okay, well, let me just say, Brendan Fraser. Okay, I love the guy anyway, but really lately, The Mummy and Dudley Do-Right, I was really worried. Do you know what talent it takes to play this many characters, to speak that many languages, to have that many mannerisms and that many costumes and that many nuances? Really, I was blown away.
I'm thinking Peter Sellers, can do that. I saw this I saw the trailer, and I peeked. I didn't watch the trailers, but I peeked and said, I really want to see this movie. And you wanted to do Meet the Parents, and I kind of fought for this.
Yeah, you did. I'm glad.
And I just had the best time. I went to packed opening night at the Yucky Multiplex, and I just was doubled over in laughter.
I know.
I mean,
the script is witty, the concept is great, even the ending. It's one of those movies where I thought there's no way to end this properly. They manage. Okay, it might not have been, the best ending, but it worked. It worked. It was sweet, and it tied it up in an okay way. Really, Elizabeth Hurley, I'm so impressed. I didn't think she could pull it off.
Beauty, charm, and she was subdued too. I mean, some folks are saying, well, she should have been like lip-smacking evil or something. That was like no, but like a Courtney Love or something. But no, this was just great, just the way it was. Leave it alone. It was dynamite. Everybody can take their complaints about remakes because this was from a 1967 Dudley Moore film with the same title.
Right.
But this worked.
The best thing was they showed her doing, her day job. Every time he'd come back from his latest wish, she'd be doing something.
Like giving people parking tickets,
or dressed in a little plaid skirt, and she's at the boys' school, and she's a teacher. Homework? Who needs it? She's just sort of a little like impish, kind of mischievous devil.
I can't remember the last time I just laughed so hard and just had so much forward momentum. Couldn't wait for the next scene.
Yeah.
That's the scene to say, okay, well, I want to stay with this, but I'm afraid the next thing is going to be a letdown. But Brendan Fraser had 7 wishes. He played 7 different characters. He said, I want to be really sensitive. So he's this uber sensitive guy.
Yeah, and she also she tries to thwart because she wants his soul. So she thwarts every wish. If he isn't completely specific,
yes.
then there was one thing.
I mean, it's a time-honored story, but it's like he becomes like the Magic Johnson, the Air Jordan.
Yeah,
and
it's so funny.
Everything.
The only place it let me down was with he was the sophisticated writer, and they made him gay. Now that was funny, but the way they did it was offensive, and up until then it had seemed sort of on board.
You're right about that, because
Yeah.
everything had just been so over the top.
Yeah, and that was...
Him being a Colombian drug lord or
right.
whatnot.
But they just used a couple cheap shots there, and I didn't like that.
And I thought the romance was coming together with the girl of his dreams. And,
yeah,
you know,
that
so
was so funny. I'm so glad you liked it.
Oh, absolutely.
What a pleasant surprise. So
And what a pleasant time at the movies.
Absolutely. I'm giving it 3.5 ticket stubs.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with 4, because
Wow.
I really loved it. Great time.
All right. We'll be back with what's now in theaters and our DVD watch. Stay with us.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
The Legend of Drunken Master. Martial arts master Jackie Chan is at the top of his game in this 1994 re-release, but the bad English dubbing lends nothing but an anti-cultural slapstick vibe.
Lost Souls. Winona Ryder needed a down payment on her condo. The only plausible explanation for this extraordinarily pat fright fest.
Meet the Parents. Sparkling chemistry and a witty script make for a laugh-out-loud fun fest that rips up the sacred institutions of relationships, commitment, and in-laws.
The Ladies' Man. Tim Meadows plays it funny as a smooth, late-night talk radio host. But this kitschy SNL retread can't sustain its humor for the length of a feature film. Jeanne, instead of just doing a what's out on video section, we thought we would do these new box sets, which seem to be all the rage on DVD and some VHS stuff too. They've got interviews, they've got like second audio tracks and stuff like that. Did you get into these?
I do, and I was recently in Virgin Records in the city, and oh man, they had a whole section. I spent a lot of money. Okay, my #1 box set has to be of the decade, not of the week, is John Woo's The Killer and Hard Boiled in a set. How exciting is that? It has interviews with Chow Yun-fat, interviews with John Woo, 2 classics together on DVD. Well,
Make sure you have that action. I want to go right for the thorax.
It's that Hong Kong thing, and I am the Hong Kong queen. Yep.
Balletic violence, I believe we call it.
Balletic violence.
Absolutely.
You quoted me.
Well, how about balletic horror with a re-release of Rosemary's Baby? One of the films that kind of caught the scene off guard, because it's not just straight up raw horror, it's paranoia, it's psychological thriller. It's like, hey, could this happen in the apartment next to me?
And it's tension, all about tension.
Absolutely.
And it has a great feature, do tell.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The little Mia Roland.
Mia and Roman. On-set featurette.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That sounds as weird as the movie, but I'm all over the Rosemary's Baby thing.
Yeah,
it's a great choice.
It's definitely got that eerie thing. Talk about the inner circle.
It does. And now it's time to wrap it up.
Haley Joel Osment has the key to everyone's happiness, except ours in Pay It Forward. I gave it 2. Jeanne gives it a strong 2.
Billy Elliot. It's a powerful, simple story, pumped with energy and edge. It's my hot ticket, and Josh, well, he's down to 1 ticket stub.
Cleopatra's second husband, trying to be a psychological thriller, just lays flat, should have stayed at home. I give it 2. Jeanne gives it 2 as well.
Bamboozled is Spike Lee's flawed tour de force, but it has a powerful message. 3 ticket stubs from me and 3 from Josh.
What more could you want at the movies? With non-stop laughs, great story, wonderful actors. It's bedazzled, and I was. It's my hot ticket, and Jeanne gives it 3.5.
That wraps it up for another edition of The Real Review.
Join us next time. We'll be reviewing Charlie's Angels.
And Robert Redford's The Legend of Bagger Vance.
I'm Josh Wallace.
I'm Jeanne Aufmuth. See you next time.